All right. I
Yeah,
got
he's
five
got to get
past
home and do college math. All right, so you just got to make sure you talk loud enough because I'm going to do the minutes. So I just got to, it may take, you may have to repeat.
Closer, is that better?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so 6:05, we'll bring this meeting to order, boy. Review and approve minutes from October 15th, which we have copies of in front of us.
Typed about myself. On the photocopier.
What's that?
I told you what I'm typed, so
Oh.
I just scanned them in.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You two-sided it, too.
Right?
You were technically advanced.
Never two-sided.
That's your job.
So, any motions to approve the minutes of the 10:15 meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the
I
minutes.
second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Hands up.
All right, 4-0. So go down to public to speak. No public to speak. Public use permit for the Giving Tree for the town park.
All right, so what I will tell you about this one this year is we are keeping this, we're not advertising. This is gonna be a closed event, virtual event. They're gonna record it in sections. Kyle Haley has offered to fly the drone and record it. Tom Ball will do the PA system, and they this weekend they will start to I want to say Saturday they'll start to do a parade route with the princess, the angel, excuse me, and the toy run. They'll film that, and then they'll film, I'm assuming, the different stages of the music and et cetera, and put it together, and then they'll give it, make a link to it, and then they'll have it on a news station also.
So
Yeah.
it's close, like they're doing it, all the stuff by themselves separately, put it all together, then that's virtual to everybody else.
Right.
Okay.
So the idea is not introduce the public, not to have it, publicized or advertised, excuse me, and then until it gets released. Just, but we obviously wanted the blessing for the event to happen.
All right, yeah.
I think that is a good way to work with what you can. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's, Carmen Glidden and Carol Hoffman were in here, we had a meeting, great to work with. Obviously, just with the restrictions we have in place, there's been a few inconveniences, but through networking, again, with Kyle and everybody else, they've stepped up and willing to help, so
Perfect.
continue this tradition.
That's awesome.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve the permit then for the Giving Tree?
I make a motion to approve.
I
as
second.
written.
Got a
Sorry.
motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, 4-0 on that.
Okay,
Good.
hold on, let me finish writing it out.
Oh, sorry.
Tree as outlined. Lindsay,
Today.
Sally, okay, go ahead.
Almost December, almost New Year.
You can go forward. I'm good.
All right. Any correspondence, Keith?
Negative.
So old business, the signage in the bench, just anything new on either of those?
Signage, nothing particular for signage. I a little bit, I have ordered some new, just some new parking signs to remind people that not to park on the grass. Mainly the boat trailers, et cetera. This will try to help mediate the police department with the ability to enforce those rules. Other than that, working with the downtown economic development committee and the Ramsey Region Economic Committee, and then the downtown evaluation group, and Heritage Trust working on the wayfinding for the community. This kind of plays a role right now. They ordered the material to do the new entry signs for the community. So what's that's going to play a role into, I think, what we do, continuity throughout the park and everything, throughout town, but throughout the park. So as it develops more, I get more plans, I'll start to show them to you guys, and we start looking at how we want to implement those plans, plus what Jim had for his loop into that design.
All right. You say entry signs into the community, you talking about at the town line?
So these won't, yeah, they won't replace, we'll maintain the town line. These will actually be a little bit further out. So the gateway signs
Okay.
coming in.
Yeah, I was kind of involved with that group. It's like 4 gateway signs, like
Nice.
one gonna be between here and Stratton, one down between here and
Oh, I hadn't heard
Rumford,
about that, yeah,
one
okay,
down by Madrid. So,
good.
Yeah, so it's cool. They're nice signs too, so.
And I'll have all that, I have the information somewhere. I will get that to you guys for the next meeting. At least you can see what that product looked like. And then we can look at, as we develop our plan, we'll start to just be able to have an idea of how we want to.
Another one by Wilson's Mills.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. All right, anything with the bench?
Bench wise, I still think we, obviously as we get more, I haven't given the answers yet, and I think as we approach, I just want something that looks tasteful and, look at some way to maybe really, again, have whether it's a wall, a tree, or something people can be a portion of, rather than having multiple benches, et cetera. Still looking at a plan. I haven't looked at any particular benches or anything, but I just have some kind of artwork piece down there that people can memorialize people if they want to do that in that regard.
All right. New business, Saddleback ticket kiosk.
All right,
Is
so,
that a permit? Is that
No.
stuff under permits?
no, so we can't really have a permit for this one because it's not an event. It's
Okay.
Andy Shepherd. I talked to Andy Shepherd and Jimmy Quimby came to me first, but and Andy Shepherd had a presentation through the select board. Saddleback's goal is to obviously become, or try to be more, touchless and connected to this town. So in lieu of COVID, this came through, but also trying to bring business back in the community. Because obviously typically people think Saddleback Mountain, they buy lift tickets, they come down the hill, turn left, go back out of town. So the idea is this to help generate some business in town. And then obviously with COVID, help them kind of facilitate and reduce lift lines, but ticket lines and all, et cetera, et cetera. So the presentation or the request is with board support already, select board, because we had to do it backwards, but obviously needing the park commission's idea. Saddleback would like to put a touchless kiosk at the chamber, kind of where that screen, that the TV is already that advertises some of the programs that Chamber has. Saddleback will pay for the activity with internet and power, installation, et cetera, et cetera. All we need to do is facilitate the building and then obviously maintain security and the typical maintenance of the walkway. This would be a interactive device with your cell phone. And the selectmen agreed upon, because obviously concerns of park use, agreed upon temporary winter of 21 season for that facility with obviously building to either look at future terms. Joe and I threw some ideas around for Depot Street development and looking at having without saying too much, I guess, developing that property without the next budget, having a gazebo and maybe another little informational booth over there where this could then be housed there, which might help any kind of conflicting issues that may be part of the whale or not, but I don't believe it would, but.
That was my only concern. I'm not knocking Saddleback at all, but I just didn't want to start another trend down there where everybody else is coming. Well, they're doing something.
So
But,
yeah,
yeah,
the term would be winter of 21, and then with relocation, ideally to Depot Street for the next seasons. Andy Shepherd would like to have it stay at the chamber, but we have to obviously revisit the terms and look at, again, any kind of trending situation that might come through that and use it case by case. But I think obviously, again, recommendation for myself is maintain that same winter 21 term and look at either renegotiating or revisiting the will and chamber opportunity. Again, ideally going to a new facility at Depot.
So, yeah, the only, So the chamber is technically considered in the park. Is that why we have to have a say in this?
Correct.
So, and the chamber is not for profit, obviously, right?
Right.
That's correct.
So, yeah, I can see the dilemma there. Not that I don't want them either, but you are putting something for profit in a building that's not for profit and a place that is for profit.
Right,
So,
so part of that discussion took place today, and I'm lacking part of it, but part of that discussion brought to light, obviously, chamber being a UPS drop-off or pickup, profit. There are other things that happen there also. It's a hub, so you're still within the same principle. It falls within, in my opinion, it falls in the straight face test of the same platform of UPS and et cetera, that do take place out of that building.
Right.
So,
And I just don't want to get on that slippery slope where other businesses, I'm not even worried about the for-profit part of it because it's the park and everybody
Yeah.
knows how I feel about it. But I just don't want everybody thinking they can do something down at the chamber building.
so again,
So I mean, if you're gonna put the stipulation on this year because of COVID and you're just trying to help them out, that's one thing, and I guess that probably covers it.
that's how we discussed it through the selectmen's meeting. Again, trying to be business friendly, look at the opportunity that we have with the startup Saddleback coming back to life. Again, termed limit of this winter, 21, and knowing that we have plans to put it at Depot Street.
so are they putting a new kiosk in, or are they essentially taking over the chamber one that's, like, they actually have to put a kiosk in, right?
Yeah, this will be a completely separate unit, essentially a miniature ATM machine or point of sale terminal.
Yep, sure.
A small point of sale terminal that's, again, it's off your cell phone. It scans as an app. You get an automatic lift ticket on your phone, you're good to go.
Now, is there external security cameras outside the bathroom there?
No, just inside that hallway there.
So you might have to put one outside if they want.
Else if they want to, or else we can orient that camera enough to catch that kind of use of that terminal.
All right. So I mean, pretty much not much of an impact to get it up and going, so.
No, I mean, they want to get started ASAP. Again, low impact, they're paying for, again, connectivity, power, installation, maintenance, et cetera, et cetera. So all we have to do is nothing, typical maintenance for the building and hope that it's just another point for continuity throughout town, that it helps Saddleback and town build a bridge that kind of helps the business run either way. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that, yeah, revisit the terms in a year for sure, just to see how it plays out and what effect it has in the long run of it being there. Not that I don't want it there. I agree that we're probably going to get a lot of everybody wanting to be there, but it does get people into town, and it is,
Good. I just think of the bench issue.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't want to start that again.
You're right.
But yeah, it's great. So,
I mean,
so there's no permit for us. I mean, you want to vote from the board?
We can make a motion, but obviously, if we touch upon the term limit, what conditions for this winter, and just essentially you're favorable or whatever, that'd be fantastic.
So you made that motion, right, Lindsay? You said you had it all written out, right? Allow it there and revisit it next year.
so approve, you guys, I can't hear. Approve Saddleback, I am writing it out, and where Saddleback Mountain kiosk at the chamber for the winter 2021 season as outlined, because they didn't really outline it to us, they outlined it to the select board. So as outlined to the select board Now, is this only for lift tickets, Keith? Or, if they decide to do something in that, you guys stop talking, please. If they decide to do something in the summer, like, are they going to then use that for summer activities too?
I believe it's in there, I believe, so I think it's gonna be their way to, yes, yeah. And if you have a mission ticket or probably, meal ticket, something like that, so the idea is it's point of sale, so yeah, they have the ability to, add different promotions, I believe. But right now, the concentration is lift tickets.
So right now, so if I keep it in there that we're approving it for this winter season, then that's not really giving them
But
the,
it'd be the same idea as Selectmen said too, just for the winter, so summertime would have to revisit it.
Let's look at it again.
Right.
At least you'd have through the winter to see how it worked out. So.
okay, so if I write it that for the winter 2021 season as outlined to the select board and revisit thereafter, we're good with that?
Yeah, that sounds
Sounds
good.
good.
to me.
All right, so I wrote it. Am I saying I make the motion? I make the motion. Somebody wants to second it.
Good. Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right. so
Who
we'll-
made the second? Which one of you Jimmys?
One below you,
The one, the one below you.
Grady Bunch below you.
Yeah,
It was square.
I'm glad that they're doing it. I am glad that they're doing it. I do think it does open us up for a little something, but I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and by the time they yell at us, then it'll be over.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Big for forgiveness instead of ask permission. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So, all right, phase 4, you got an update for us or?
Well, so obviously as we approach budget season, we know we have money for the playground equipment. So phase 4 essentially encompasses the purchase and implementation or construction of the playground equipment. We also are reestablishing communications with Eric Galley to look at some more of the aesthetic portions of the park. So looking at some more, whether it's plantings or whatever. I try to get a little more of that concept back in place to finish up just those final touches on the park.
Yep.
And then hopefully, again, bring that throughout the community. But right now, the biggest thing, again, through budget season, we're approaching final portion or final push for playground equipment cost. And then, again, those final touches on the park. And through the park, obviously, the budget I have this year, I bought new roofing for the pavilions. It'll match it's a metal roof. The standing seam will match the bathhouse. So I have a little bit more continuity. Again, keep saying those same words, but part of the goal.
Perfect.
So, and then we're gonna look at maybe ideally, like another gazebo on the point, maybe if we can get one down there. Some tree replacements down there. There are talks, and this isn't public, it's public knowledge, so I'm going to say it, but starting to look at placing some future giving trees back at the park again.
Thanks.
Back by the point and back by the power pole or the basketball court where that meter is. So as we look at the age of and the condition of our current giving tree, having a couple extra in place in case, whether it's storm damage or some kind of disease or et cetera, that we have the ability to continue that tradition. So again, phase 4 is just finishing up what's planned for the park and then introducing that playground and maybe some other ideas as we approach that. But just so you guys are aware, we're in the planning phase, and you guys will be part of that for sure as we look at those final touches.
Was there ever any talk of a walkway that goes from the chamber, like along the edge of the road down toward the ramp?
So we have looked at this, and there's no direct plan right now, but obviously the problem I have right now with the park, as I learn more about this, is impervious surface. So as limitation to how much of that pavement we can put in. So even if I want to replace that shale, that goes from the basketball court to the bathhouse.
Oh, yeah.
I have to look at what my restrictions are through DEP and everything else with the park, with that impervious surface, so.
Well,
Obviously, we'll have to look at what the priorities are in that case. And obviously, a walkway would be nice. I agree, or a sidewalk,
a sidewalk.
something.
Something.
But I guess it would have to be, what our allowance would be at that point.
Okay.
It's been talked about for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it has, because just people just wander in the middle of the road.
Oh, yeah.
and down there all
It
the
can
time.
be hairy too, walking through there. You get somebody
Yeah,
whipping down or something.
Absolutely.
And, trailers coming. I just wondered if that was included in any discussion.
Ideally, if we can get that, as we pursue this, the integration of that loop,
Right,
we can look at those touches there and
Right.
what our allowances are, again, with impervious materials and surfaces, and go from there.
Okay, sounds good. All right, got anything else?
That, I think, is pretty much the gist of what I want to talk about.
Alright.
We approved the 2 important items, and we'll see what the next month brings us. Again, looking at budget here right off, so I'll keep you guys informed on what my plans are for the park, and if you have any other ideas you want to introduce that we can potentially budget for, we'll go from there.
Yeah, so the question I have, Keith, is how does that work as far as purchasing the playground equipment? Do we get to present what we think should be in there before the budget process, or you budget so much and then we have to take what you say and decide from there? How does that work?
So my goal, right, obviously, procedurally, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back tomorrow or the next week, for the next meeting, I'll get where we stand right now for a fund balance for the playground. I'll look at kind of the threshold that what we expected to spend, and obviously look at requesting more, plus hopefully getting some grants in place. But selection wise, what I'd like to do obviously is, given it's been 4 years, 3 or 4 years since the original plan was kind of put in place, I'd like to do a poll, community poll, with kids and the committee and everybody else to see what they would like to see in that area. Being practical within a budget and trying to have some kind of continuity again. Trying not to, their equipment, they're gonna have to use it. It has to be, of all age friendly. So it's part of the idea was to put in some natural, some natural features, but also the CrossFit areas, like the little more simplistic workout area.
Yeah.
So something like that, so we could, have that multi-generation use of that facility.
Makes
What we're
sense.
looking at. So.
Okay.
Perfect, all right.
So you guys have a little more to say, hopefully, and what we want to see put in place, and then obviously again, I'd like to poll the community, mostly the kids, in that, at least in that features that they would use. So.
All right. Anybody else have any business they want to talk about? All right,
So our
Sure.
next meeting is slated for December 17th. Is that gonna be a interference with the holidays? Should we, Keith, I don't know if we have, do we keep it? And then if we don't have anything, we
Right,
potentially cancel until January?
correct.
or April.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep it on schedule for now, and if we, for some reason, if there's something to talk about, we can look at rescheduling if we have to for whatever reason, given the time of the year, or we postpone it, or et cetera, so, but we'll keep it on for the time being.
Unless there's a permit that needs to be approved,
Right.
then no.
Okay, I know.
I'd just like to try to get some signage or something for that loop thing we were talking about, that loop trail, maybe by springish.
Absolutely. Well, we'll back up that plan again, we'll get Sam's
Okay.
images, and I'll get Sam to give you an estimate.
Yeah,
You already had about me anyway.
okay.
We'll put it in the budget.
Sounds like we actually need an actual planning, meeting where we get to
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
signs and wordage and playground equipment and
Correct.
okay.
Stamp.
After the holidays,
yes.
Right.
February.
All right, I get 6:30 then. We're out of here.
I'll get some numbers before that, though. Like I said, the budget work.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
Adjourn 6:30.
Got it.
Meeting.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy turkey.
Thanksgiving.
All right, see you guys. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.